up, everybody? And I want to welcome you to another episode here on AZI TV. I got somebody who's special to me, not just because she's fellow light-skinned person, but this is my little sis, man. We've grown up a little bit together. She hosts a thing on social media called Fearless. Man, she is an author, motivational speaker, sex and wellness educator, and an entrepreneur. I want y'all to say what's up to Miss CeLeslie Boyer, man. What's up, Miss
What's up?
So can we call you Cess or C?
You can call me C or Fearless, whatever.
Fearless. Oh, well, Fearless.
Yes.
Let's go by the title name,
yeah,
right? Okay,
Fearless.
okay. So man,
easy.
Let's jump into it, man. How did you get into this?
So basically, I grew up as a PK.
Okay.
Started in the music world. As you know, formal hip hop artist, rapper, etc.
That's how we met.
Spitting a couple bars, X, Y, and Z. Went back behind the scenes, as far as music business goes. Long story short, speeding up to now, just not stepping out of the music industry, but broadening it by, helping ministries, not only ministries, but just people in general, because I believe, kingdom is outside of the building.
Gotcha.
So I got into, just telling my story, from trauma to sexual abuse to verbal abuse, self-rejection, etc. And then I got in the industry of intimacy products, and felt the need that it's really needed in the church, because like I was saying, that it's taboo. So I decided to go ahead and get that certification for sex and wellness, so it can be educated, because society makes it so negative.
Gotcha.
And it's not really taught properly or educated in our churches, in ministry, and just like not even in just that, but schools, so just abroad. It just needs to be presented as a positive thing.
Okay.
So.
Oh, we were killing it. I mean, she went down the line, man. So let's take a step back real quick, man. So where are you from?
I am from Albuquerque, New Mexico. The 505, the land of enchantment. We call it the land of entrapment, but I made it out, y'all. So, love my hometown. Grew up. This is where Real Green Chili is.
Yeah. I was actually there for a little bit because I had to help a friend drive back out here.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna tell you, there's a long road that's like 6 hours that it's just bare nothing, the most boring drive you can ever make in your life.
Factual, but you must have went through Flagstaff. I always go through Pace, and it's shorter. It's only like like an hour, two if you.
I have no idea. It was just boring. But honestly, it was pretty dope, man. So now let's get into this, because I love it, man. We've been knowing each other for some years. You know how people take sabbaticals, go off to their own direction. That's kind of what we did. But
adulting life.
Right. So you've been hurt.
Yes.
Right, and I don't know how personal you want to get, so you can give me that look.
Okay.
If you want me to stop, but you've been through a divorce.
Yes, 8 years now.
8 years. So did that take you away from the intimacy part? Did that take you away of being vulnerable to somebody else?
Well, I don't think it took away from me being vulnerable. I think I was not allowing myself to be vulnerable because of the trauma that I've been through as in childhood, as in early adulthood, and not being able to provide the proper intimacy in my relationship or my marriage. But not only that, I wasn't able to be intimate with myself.
Wow, okay. So that's deep, because a lot of us don't want to face the reality of our hurt, pain, but we'll try to live through the love for somebody else.
Yes.
We try to, and again, I don't think you can, I know that you can't love somebody else without first loving yourself.
Exactly.
And if you don't have that example of what true love is, you're just going to go off of what normal people go off of: porn and TV and love and hip hop and all that. And I'm not saying
and they call it love, and it's
right.
I always tell people, love is just a part of intimacy, not just for yourself but also with your spouse, because it's unstable. I tell people there's a difference between loving someone and being in love with someone.
Right.
And you gotta identify the two, because if you just live right off of that, it leaves a shaky, unstable environment or relationship.
Got you, man. And I definitely understand that because, again, I was hurt, and me being hurt, man, I was by myself for 4 years, like 4.5 years.
Wow.
Like, so after, and I literally, when I went through that breakup, like, this girl, like, she toyed with my heart for like 6 months. She was messing with her ex-dude while still keeping me stringed along. And I allowed myself to, and most men won't admit that, but we allow ourselves to allow that to happen.
Right. Instead of just because it's either because we don't want to be alone, or we are ashamed, or we don't want to hurt the other person.
Right.
But even though the other person is hurting us.
Right.
So, and then also, like, from a female perspective, because we're so emotional, and when we get that emotional attachment, we allow ourselves to settle because we feel like we can fix.
Yeah.
And we can change. And I've learned just later in my adult life in relationships, you cannot change a man. No. You cannot change a man. You can only love them to where, and help them get to where they need to be, help them be better. Our job is not to change. Just like you can't change me, I can't change you.
Right.
I have to want to change for myself. And a lot of us women, we get stuck in that, and we get frustrated, and we get heartbroken because it's like, oh, this Negro is not gonna change for nobody.
Like, what I want you to do.
I want you to do. I just, like, I see this, but you don't see what I see, and it's super frustrating. But that also goes into a lot of things that we don't do in relationships. We don't communicate, healthy communication. And then again, it always goes back to self. Like, we don't know ourselves, or we don't love on ourselves, or we don't maintenance ourselves.
We don't, and I think that's a problem. Like, I'm preaching at the end of this month, right? And one of the topics I'm talking about is we come into church with these clothes on. And Lecrae had the song called Church Clothes, right?
Yes.
And so
that is like my favorite album from him.
Because like we come in with these clothes on, and we look all good and everything, but once you take off that suit, then you can see the bare fruit. You can see the naked truth about somebody. Right. You can see the wounds, the flesh wounds. Just like if somebody takes off their shirt and they have like some stab wounds and all that or whatever, you can now see the wounds,
right? The
hurt. And if we stop clothing ourselves in this fake persona of love, if we stop clothing ourselves in this idea of this is what love could be, right? Then we can actually be real. And the real love is actually realizing that you're hurt. The real love is actually realizing that you're in pain. And showing yourself real love is taking yourself through that time of healing grace.
It's a process. And like when you talk about healing, what people don't understand really about healing, they think, because I was one of those, like, oh, okay, I'm healed from this. But there's levels of healing. Mm-hmm. Healing is a process. Like it's a ruthless process, not so ruthless process. But it's a process. It's something that you just, it happens overnight. And I think, growing up in the church and religion has taught us like these things can happen overnight. But the book that we were supposed to believe in and support us, it doesn't say that. Everything in the Bible that somebody's gone through is a process. It's an example of a process. And because they went through that process, they were able to deliver and be an example for other people. Right. And like you said, like you come into church and you are clothed with all of this, hit your behind the scenes. And it's like, I used to come to church and I felt like it was a routine. It was like a job. Like you come in and you do X, Y, and Z, and it's supposed to be a hospital. It's supposed to be a place where you can receive. So when you go home, you can eat off of. But it was more of a routine to the point where I would still go to church broken and then come back home 10 times worse because it's like
nobody touched
I'm still holding on to this, but then I got to go through this week and it's adding on to stuff. And it's like it's devastating because it's like now people talk about it, that vulnerability and just being naked before the Father, because it's super important to just be honest with yourself. Right now I'm talking about the power of threes, taking responsibility.
I've seen that.
And number 2, reframing your thought process. And number 3, stop making excuses for yourself. And I always like the bonus, and is letting go. And letting yourself be open, because when you're not open and you're not allowing yourself for those wounds to heal, it's you're not getting anywhere. It's like when you have a cut, and back when we were kids, they pour that peroxide and alcohol, and it gets deep in that woman. It stings a little bit, and we have to go through that process of it stinging a little bit and allow it to close and heal. It's a process.
Wow, I wish when I got hurt, it's funny because I was like, man, I started writing, and I wish I wrote this book that it was on my heart to write, man, which is like the I don't know how many, I think it was like 5 or 7 steps of healing or something like that, or getting out of, or something like that, where it's like in a relationship, you come out of a relationship, okay, now it's like, now you're hurt, now you're mad, now you're frustrated, now you're in that I don't care mode, now you're in that I can do better mode. Now it's like, now you're in that. You
got all these emotions going on. And it's like people don't admit to all those emotions.
Nah.
They're like, well, I'm good, but you're really not, you're not good. And like, I believe in this saying, it's okay not to be okay.
I said that at church one time. I said, it's okay to come into church and not want nobody to touch you.
Yeah.
It's okay if somebody says, and the thing is, I think churches need that because, and I think people in general need that because it's okay to feel a certain way coming in because you're human. You can feel that. Everybody, we are back with Miss CeLeslie Boyer, also known as Cece. Now, she was telling me off camera that she has a new project coming out that's going to help and benefit people. Can you indulge on that project?
Sure. It's a novel that's going to be coming out around April. It's called No More Silence, Church Girl. It's actually a book about my life, dealing with self-rejection, church rejection, and family rejection, and how I work through the process of healing. And another project right behind that is called Love After Divorce. It's just basically dealing with, self-intimacy, getting to know yourself. Because a lot of times we get divorced and then we jump right into another relationship. And that's what I did. I was divorced for 2 months and I jumped into a whole nother relationship that didn't last. And I wasn't healed from my marriage divorce. And I'm adding and packing things from another divorce. Basically it was a divorce because we were together for 4 years and didn't work out. And so I not only had to still process my divorce, but I also had to process relationship.
So you added pain on top of
pain. Yes.
Wow, man. I mean, I think we can jump into that for a little bit because that's what a lot of people do, man. They try to date one person to get over another person. They try to, have sex with this person to get over this person.
Exactly.
It's funny. I had an ex that told me one time. She was like, I had sex with somebody to get over you. I said, I don't know how that's possible, but
that part.
But I can't encourage it, but to each his own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't understand it because I'm one of the people where I can count on one hand how many people I've had sex with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person where I'm going to go sleep with everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's crazy because society tells us that in order to get over somebody, you got to get under another person. And it's so toxic because it's like, how do you get over, like, you're emotionally attached to this person, and granted it may have been I don't know how long, and like you're not only hurting yourself but you're actually hurting the person that you getting up under with, because not only are they dealing with whatever they're dealing with, but now they got to deal with whatever you're dealing with. Like that trans spirit they talked about, like we like sharing different toxic, spirits, because it's like, for an example, like I was dealing with something, with my own stuff, and then I realized that I was dealing with something else that I never dealt with, and the person that I was with I was like, this is the real. Factual. Like, they wasn't lying growing up.
Life right here, man. This is real life stuff.
Like, where did this come from? So you're packing things on that that are unnecessary. Like, you're taking yourself through unnecessary pain.
Wow. Man, listen, I can sit here and talk to this girl all day long. We're going to catch up off camera as well. But we actually decided off camera as well that we're going to do a project together come this March. So we want you guys to get ready for it. We'll make announcements for it. But if they wanted to reach you, talk to you, connect with you, build with you, grow with you, get advice from you, how would they do it?
You can always catch me on Facebook. It is under CeLeslie L Boyer. Also Instagram, it's called Fearless Speaks. I'm live every Monday. I have created a platform called Selfcare Monday.
Gotcha.
Dealing with yourself. I'm a big person. I know people are probably tired of it during the pandemic, but self-care, I call it self-intimacy.
I love it.
Just to better you in order to better your life as a parent, your career, your spouse, with your spouse, boyfriend, whatever, family relationships as well. It's just the fact that my journey has been amazing, and I want to share it with other people and allow people to have access to that if they need it. So those are the two platforms. You can hit me up. You can always hit me up on email, which is bookfearless@gmail.com. And but yeah, I'm always on social media though, so.
I love it. I got a number, you can't have it though. But I appreciate you so much coming by here, rocking with us, telling your story, letting the people know about you. This is our goal, to bring you to the nation. So I'm praying, God, you would do it in Jesus' name.
So I appreciate the opportunity, and I hope what you've heard is a blessing to you. It's been a blessing to me. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it. I'm always about letting my story be known, because you never know who may need to hear it. So
I love
it. Appreciate it.
Hey, anytime, man, this is my sis. You know, I love it. So, man, hey, look, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Arizona Informant. Hit us up on YouTube at Arizona Informant TV, where you can see all the latest videos, content, all of the above. You will see this one as well. So we love you, man, and we will see you guys soon.
Thank you.